So Sandy, we're going to get right into it tonight. There's a lot going on, and we got a lot to cover tonight. Right off the top of the bat, let's talk about this. U.S. and China, I think this is huge news for the world, has agreed to suspend most tariff hikes. I believe it's a 90-day pause. We'll look at this. The United States and China agreed Monday to suspend the vast majority of tariffs imposed during their recent trade standoff, committing to a 90-day de-escalation while formal negotiations continued. The agreement was announced in a joint statement following 2 days of high-level talks in Geneva, where delegations from both governments convened to address mounting economic tensions. So it's going to reduce the reciprocal tariffs from 125% to 10%, while maintaining 20% U.S. duties on Chinese fentanyl-related imports. Total tariffs on China stand at 30%. All right, so this is the video. Let's watch the video here.
We have reached an agreement on a 90-day pause and substantially moved down the tariff levels. Both sides on the reciprocal tariffs will move their tariffs down 115%. Good. We had very robust discussions. Both sides showed great respect. It was a chance for me to meet the Chinese delegation. The vice premier I had previously had only a video call with. Ambassador Jameson was familiar with two of the other leaders on the delegation from his previous time. So there was very good personal interaction. Both countries represented their national interests very well. We concluded that we have shared interest, and we both have an interest in balanced trade. The U.S. will continue moving towards that.
Sir Edward said, is this guy an AI robot?
Listen, thank you, Sir Edward. I was just sitting here thinking, what?
Somebody needs to coach him on talking.
Is he waiting on applause, or did he just not have his coffee that morning?
He was just like...
this is the best we've got?
I mean, he's the guy he's supposedly the expert, and he's the guy that's doing the negotiations.
Wow.
But he...
You know what? Let's leave him...
Yeah.
Let's let him draw up the documents and send somebody else out there to talk.
He's not usually like that. I've seen him do some things. But here's the thing. I think he was being very cautious with his words. I think he was realizing, okay, I could really mess this up. So I got to be really cautious. And of course, there might have been somebody standing in the back of the room,
think somebody had a gun
in black sunglasses, just in a hat, looking at him going,
I guess there's always that threat.
Got my eyes on you, buddy.
Okay.
Wow. Well, welcome to everybody here to the big picture tonight. It's awesome to have everybody here. But yeah, so that's the deal. I mean, right off the bat, that was early this morning. We have delayed that. And of course, the stock market skyrocketed because of that. But, here's the deal. 90-day pause on the big one with China.
Right.
And supposedly during those 90 days, there's supposed to be renegotiations of when we come out of it, that we won't be as dependent upon them. And Bessett, the guy, I think that's his name that we just saw, he said in another interview today, he said, this is the beginning of, listen to the wording here, this will be the beginning of the decoupling of us and our dependency on China for everything else. So I'll believe it when I see it.
Exactly.
But that's what they're spinning it as.
If we're decoupling with them,
yeah,
we have to get these goods from somewhere, from somebody.
Well, they're saying, and who knows how long it'll take. They're saying we'll make them in America.
Yeah. I was hoping you wouldn't say that. Yeah, we possibly could one day.
Yeah, one day. Yeah.
Probably not anytime soon.
Hey, but Trump said that baby girl don't need no 20 Barbies. She'd be happy with 3. She don't need no more than 3 Barbies.
Learn to be happy
Y'all,
with 3.
when he said that, I was like, they're going to eat him alive on that. I get what he was saying, but I mean, the bottom line is, government don't get to decide how many Barbies you buy your kids.
You don't tell me about my Barbies and my other toys.
Yeah.
Back off.
Yeah. If you got enough to buy your kid 20 Barbies, that's up to you. That's freedom. All right. So let's continue in the news here. On President Trump had a big day. He also had an executive order where he announced the annihilation of the big pharma scam, cutting drug prices between 30 to 80%. I watched a little bit of this press conference. With the stroke of a pen, President Donald Trump is going to upend decades of unfair treatment for tens of millions of Americans who depend on pharmaceuticals. It's the type of move that will make the average American wonder why this wasn't done years ago.
Lack of common sense.
And a lack of
motivation.
Guts.
If he can even get it done.
Intestinal fortitude.
If he didn't have enough people gunning for him already, you're going to go up against big pharma.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
Watch out.
That's a big one. So for many years, the world has wondered why prescription drugs and pharmaceuticals in the United States of America were so much higher in price than they were in other nations, sometimes being 5 to 10 times more expensive than the same drug manufactured in the same exact laboratory or plant by the same company. It was always difficult to explain and very embarrassing because, in fact, there was no correct or rightful answer. The pharmaceutical drug companies would say for years that it was research and development costs.
Exactly.
And that that's all the costs were and would be for no reason whatsoever, home of the suckers of America alone, campaign control, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So what he went on to say here is that this is DC Drano here. Yeah, so this was his tweet here. For many years, the world, that's his. I want to get down to here to what Trump said. Okay. Yeah, that is Trump's. Okay. So he goes on to, what we was just reading was Trump's tweet. And then he says, therefore, I am pleased to announce that tomorrow morning, which is, of course, this morning at 9 a.m., I'll be signing one of the most consequential executive orders in our country's history. Prescription drugs and pharmaceutical prices will be reduced almost immediately by 30 to 80%. They will rise throughout the world in order to equalize and for the first time in many years bring fairness to America. I will be instituting a most favored nations policy whereby the United States will pay the same price as the nation that pays the lowest price anywhere in the world. Our country will finally be treated fairly and our citizens' healthcare costs will be reduced by numbers never even thought of before. Additionally, on top of everything else, the United States will save trillions of dollars. Thank you for your attention on this matter. Make America great again. So he promises it's his biggest post ever. And it is pretty big if it actually happens. Well, they're going to fight this tooth and nail.
Is anyone asking the same question that's in my mind? How would you even go about putting this out there and saying this, that you're going to make, okay? So my mind goes to, well, if the government was propping up to some degree big pharma and pushing a lot of money towards them, I might be able to say, you're going to do this and that, because guess what? The money train is either being cut off or very greatly affected. I don't know. Just thinking there.
Yeah. Well, the insurance company industry, I want to go on and read this article. It says Democrats and rhinos will find some way to paint this as negative, but the people will see through it, especially when they see the costs reduced dramatically. The insurance industry will need to adjust, but big pharma will be the most affected. How will Moderna, Pfizer, and J&J respond? Because look at what we just came through. The wah-wah. The wah-wah was, made them so much money.
Just stupid.
And by the way, we got a lot of new people that don't know what the wah-wah is. The wah-wah is C-19.
Ouchie Fauci.
All of that. But it made them so much money. And it proved for anybody that had open eyes, that were wide awake, just how much big pharma and government were in bed together. And so this right here, these are the kind of executive orders that if you got somebody else in the wings that wants to try to do what's been done to him, attempted to do to him twice, you might be surprised. You're thinking, what? I mean, I can understand if it was the CIA or whatever. No, big pharma and their control of this government and keeping people in a sick state
Yes.
is one of the biggest money things in the world.
Can you imagine? Wow.
I mean, they don't think about this. Nobody cures anybody. They just treat you. They just treat the symptoms. There's no cure for hardly anything. Nobody's pursuing a cure. Am I right? They're just treating the symptoms. Look at the commercials.
You'll see pockets of different things, not on the commercials, of areas where cures are supposedly being pursued. But, it's not even just medication.
Yeah.
Some of these big pharma companies make the preservatives
exactly
that go into our foods. How big of a market is that?
Oh, and speaking of the preservatives, do you know who the number one maker of these dyes and all of these addictive foods are, and cereals and all the people that make the cereals? The tobacco company.
Oh, really?
Yes. So when the tobacco company they got regulated and they couldn't do commercials and all this.
They went into making.
They bought up all the cereal companies. So most of your addictive foods that you are addicted to is manufactured by the nicotine and the smoking
We need to
industry.
move on because we definitely do not need to do a deep dive into foods we're addicted to, because
I'm not scared.
that's going to be disturbing and gross.
I'm not scared. I ain't scared. I'm wide awake. I ain't
You look
scared.
a little scared to me.
I'm not scared. Look at me. Does this look like a face that's scared? I'm not scared. My granddaddy always say, if you're scared, just go ahead and say scared. I'm not scared. All right. Well, let's mix things up a little bit tonight, Sandy. We're gonna bring a little AI stuff in at the beginning and let a lot of our new people know what we're doing.
That's my favorite thing to do.
Oh yeah. So here we go. France is now wanting to roll out. They're openly saying that they want to roll out a robot army to fight for France by 2040. Now, when I saw this, I thought, well, it makes sense because the French won't fight for themselves. Oh, no, I didn't say that.
Wow.
We got French people that watches us. We love you.
We do love you. And I love your breads.
Yeah.
We need to do a segment on the French bread.
You just talked about addictive foods, and that's addictive.
That brioche and croissant.
Who
doesn't like a croissant?
You're so bougie how you can talk so fancy.
What?
That's so fancy how you talk. I can't say those words.
Oh, shut up. Anyway.
Okay. Global conflict is declining, but military spending is surging, fueled by massive investments in defense tech. Between 2021 and 23, U.S. military tech startups raised $100 billion driving innovations like drone swarms, counter UAV systems. France is pushing ahead with this vision of future warfare, aiming for a fully developed robot army. Listen to the words now. A fully developed robot army.
I heard you the first time.
Well, I'm going to do it a third time then, just so I can. France is pushing ahead with its vision for future warfare, aiming for a fully developed robot army by 2040. However, General Bruno Baratz recently announced that the country's plan to deploy its first combat-ready robots could be as early as 2028. Y'all, it's 2025. Well, ahead of the original timeline, these robots are being tested right now for tasks like surveillance, mine clearing, and battlefield repairs. The initiative is part of France's broader strategy to modernize its forces and prepare for high-intensity warfare. While the Russia-Ukraine war has highlighted the importance of advanced military tech, President Macron has ruled out sending French troops, raising questions about how and where these robots will be used. Critics warn that given France's history of covert military operations in Africa, these cutting-edge systems may quietly extend French influence abroad rather than sit idle. So we're in a world right now that we have the military expert correcting the official language, saying, no, I think we might be ready by 2028. So if they say 2028, have we not learned that means earlier than that?
Yes.
So that means it's probably ready now. The soldiers are probably ready now. And it also probably means they're already probably in combat.
Sure.
They're probably already fighting in combat.
They have to have a pretty lengthy time of testing.
Yeah.
So they're already certainly doing that. They want that to be perfected or whatever. But to announce that year, I think we could realistically expect to see them, what do you think, year and a half before that?
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, and look, there's no doubt about it. If the French have this, America was way ahead of French.
The president said we got stuff y'all don't know about.
It's true.
Mm-hmm. Don't even come up around here.
We got some of that stuff that was developed in them underground bunkers with them entities and all that stuff.
Don't mess with this. We
All right,
might disappear you like that.
Let me show you another AI story here. And by the way, we're showing you this to remind you that at the end of our program, if you're new to our program, we have an entire segment called the Supernatural AI Update, where we go really in depth every week at the end of our program. But we wanted to show some people that's new to our program because we're really growing and got a lot of new people watching tonight. That these are some of the things we cover. Now, this is pretty alarming. This is from the Megyn Kelly show, and I don't know, many of you may have seen this, but Zuckerberg and Facebook came out with something this week where they're trying to keep up with ChatGPT and all these AIs that we talk about, these personal assistants, and they came out with Meta AI. But I want you to hear what she says about it and then what he says about what his real goal is right here. And let me just tell you, you better guard your children.
So not unrelated, I think, is the Mark Zuckerberg news about creating AI friends for lonely kids. And this is so disturbing to me. I know it's not supposed to be. I think, Meta thinks we're going to be thrilled about this, but they've debuted a new mobile app that transforms the Meta AI chatbot into a more social experience, including the ability to share AI-generated creations with friends and family. And this AI chatbot will use whatever the company knows about you or your kid, your 20-year-old son, in its interactions. They can also use your conversations, any media you upload, for training the models. And Mark Zuckerberg thinks this is going to be wonderful because it's going to provide your child his next friend. Take a listen to him touting it with an interview with podcaster Dwarkesh Patel.
One thing just from working on social media for a long time is there's the stat that I always think is crazy. The average American, I think it's fewer than 3 friends, 3 people that they'd consider friends. And the average person has demand for meaningfully more. I think it's like 15 friends or something, right? There's a lot of questions that people ask of stuff like, okay, is this going to replace kind of in-person connections or real-life connections? And my default is that the answer to that is probably no. I think I think that there are all these things that are better about kind of physical connections when you can have them, but the reality is that people just don't have the connection and they feel more alone a lot of the time than they would like. There are a handful of companies and stuff who are doing virtual therapist and there's like virtual girlfriend type stuff, but it's very early.
Wow. Listen to this
very
commentary.
Early. What do we think? Is this something to be celebrated?
I mean, Chamath worked with Zuck, so I'll let him do that. But, I've never liked Zuck. And the reason people have 3 friends is because Zuckerberg created Facebook and Instagram and got everybody addicted to this stuff. So now he's saying you should have 15 friends. I use social media and champion kids using social media. I fought against any age gating or regulations against it, tooth and nail. Instagram and Facebook causing all of this, eating disorders in girls and, insecurity and all kinds of problems. And now he wants to take the 3 friends that are left out of 15 you should have and replace them with AI. This is the worst possible person to take any friendship, social advice from. And kids should not be, in all seriousness, on things like character AI or what he's proposing here, because they will disconnect and they will lose the skill of connecting with other humans, which we're seeing in a generation of boys and men who are what's called incels. They play video games, they get disconnected from other humans. Girls spend too much time on Instagram, they get disconnected from friendship. And this generation doesn't know how to actually go on a date or ask a girl on a date or have a relationship because they're so used to liking things and how many retweets did they get, how many likes did they get, and playing video games and how many levels they did.
So, wow. So I saw this come out, full disclosure. I mean, I'm just going to tell you right now, full disclosure. I use AI and just about everybody I know uses some type of AI.
Sure.
And everybody's competing but here's the thing. What we've got to always keep in mind is AI is all about manipulation. It is all about presenting itself to be your friend. And now it's like, not only are they giving you responses, in the early stages, it was giving you amazing, quick responses, doing things for you. Now all of them have a voice model that carries on conversations. We've shown you here on the program. I've had conversations on the program with ChatGPT. I call it the devil every time I do it. I say, you do realize you're the devil and you're the Antichrist. and it's like, I'm so sorry that you feel that way, but I'm here to help you if you need me.
I beg to differ.
So his thing is, your kids, for whatever reason, I had nothing to do with it.
Right.
They need friends, and I feel so good. I feel so warm and fuzzy to try to help your family. I'm going to make your kids friends.
It is so disturbing, frustrating, blah, blah, blah. My question is this the precursor to when people, they move on from that and we start saying, well, little Tommy is getting a little upgrade, and we start becoming more hybrid because
the transhumanism.
We want to run faster. We want to have
Somebody
better
should
vision.
write a book about that.
Right. But seriously, as I'm watching this interview and we're talking about this, I'm just thinking, when does it turn to your actual physical body?
Right.
I've got to be better.
It's happening already.
I'm already better online. I'm better at my job and so and so.
Yep.
But I've got to be,
because you can be anybody you want to be.
Right. I've got to be faster. I've got to be, I've just got to be all around better.
Yeah. So, hey, what a great transition to tell you that I'm working hard on my book, y'all. I'm coming up on, I would say about 5 chapters in that I've got completed. And y'all, this book is, you've read a little bit of it. You've only read like 1 or 2 chapters because I've been working so hard by myself. And you wanted to wait to get a little bit further down in there to read it all, or at least half of it. But that being said, y'all need to pray for me because this is what I'm dealing with. I mean, we are doing a deep dive into what is really going on. I'm gonna say something in that book that I couldn't even say here because I'd get kicked off the channel. But you've read some of the things that I'm going to have in that book. This is a game changer.
Oh, yes.
This is a game changer book.
Oh, yes, it is. Everything we've talked about in the news and so much more.
Yep.
Taken directly from scripture, a comparison. I mean, it's a lot, and it's going to be very deep.
It's going to be very deep. I think it's going to be a powerful book that's going to change a lot of lives, open a lot of eyes. So I'll be able to tell you a little bit more as we get a little bit into the summer. I can't tell you anything else right now. I'm dependent on my publisher. I got a deadline. So y'all be praying for me. Let's get back in the news. And by the way, if you enjoyed those 2 segments, don't go anywhere because at the end of the program, we have the famous, I think it's famous, supernatural AI update that we really go deep. And we got about, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 things in that update. And it may just get the Golden Chicken Award.
Oh, wow.
Because I gave you the fluff at the front. We give you the tough stuff at the back. That's for the dedicated one.
This is the fluff.
Yeah. All right. Zelensky is now saying that he is willing to meet with Putin. Putin. Zelensky says he's willing to meet with Putin in Turkey. It is a positive sign that the Russians have finally begun to consider ending the war, Zelensky said. All right, so let's read a little bit of this, and y'all tell me in the live chat in the comment section what you think is going to come of this. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky responded to Russian President Vladimir Putin on May 11th, agreeing to meet him in Turkey on May 15th. Y'all, that's this week. Let's just see what happens. While reiterating the need for a full temporary ceasefire between the 2 warring neighbors before talks commence on a lasting peace. Quote, "It is a positive sign that the Russians have finally begun to consider ending the war," end quote. Zelensky wrote in a post on social media platform X, "The entire world has been waiting for this for a very long time, and the first step is truly ending any war is a ceasefire. Ukraine awaits a full and lasting ceasefire starting from tomorrow to provide the necessary basis for diplomacy," Zelensky wrote in a later post on May 11, yesterday, while at the same time agreeing to meet with Putin in Turkey. "Personally, I hope that this time The Russians will not look for excuses. So he's just taking shot after shot after shot at him, everything he can. On May 11th, Russia resumed mass drone attacks on Ukraine, capping the end of a self-declared 3-day pause in fighting. Ukraine's Air Force stated on May 11th that Russia had launched 108 attack drones and simulator drones from 6 different locations, with 60 drones shot down and another 41 simulator drones failing to hit its target following Ukrainian countermeasures. Both nations have accused each other of violating the 3-day ceasefire, with Russian Defense Ministry on May 11th claiming that Ukraine had done so 14,000 times. Ukraine also accused Russia of violating the truce, and the Ukrainian foreign minister called it a farce. Ukraine has not agreed to the May 8th to May 10th ceasefire Russia unilaterally declared, and accused Russia of constantly violating it. All right, so we got May 15th.
That's 3 days.
3 days from now.
Right.
The two presidents of the two countries that had been fighting, and I don't even know how long it's been going on. I can't even remember when it started now. Do you remember? I have no idea. I mean, it's like
when
3
Russia
years?
and Ukraine,
Yeah.
that's February 2022.
3.5 years, something like that?
Wasn't it February 2020? I'm sorry, February 2023.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, it's got to come to an end at some point. And Russia for so long has said it's only going to come into an end when we finish the job. Zelensky has said it's only going to come to an end when you accept our sovereignty, give us our land back. Well, I don't know what's going to come of this.
Who do you think can hold out the longest?
Yeah. And what is the Trump card in this? What side is he going to come on? What is he going to? Which side is he going to put the pressure on? How's he going to do the art of the deal when it comes to this? That's the big question. I mean, because he's the one. Everybody accuses him of being pro-Trump. I don't think he's pro-Trump. I think he wants to end the war. He does seem to be not necessarily pro-Trump, but he does seem to be a little bit more anti-Zelensky. Is in my opinion. I just don't think he likes Zelensky. I think he thinks that he's disrespectful and things like that. And look, bottom line is this: Putin is a very evil man. He's killed a lot of people.
Sure.
Okay, he's killed a lot of people, and not just in war. I'm talking about his own people.
Yes.
I mean, he is both sides here. There's no good guy, I don't think, in this war. I better let you comment.
I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, we've heard of Putin's tactics of getting rid of people that he doesn't agree with in his own government. So I don't think you want to be messing around making any enemies out of him. So.
Exactly. So there's a lot of things that came out this week because you got so many wars going on. We had the potential of the Pakistan-India war, which supposedly ended in a truce, but even that they're saying
on shaky ground.
Yeah, it's on shaky ground. Then you got the war in the Middle East. You got the war in Ukraine. You've got the potential of Taiwan and China always out there lingering, and other skirmishes around the world. We've got several conflicts that nobody ever talks about that goes on in Africa. I mean, there's multiple things going on all across the continent of Africa. But then, there's the relationship between America and Israel. And this started coming out this week. There started coming out these reports that there was not good blood between Bibi and Trump.
Yeah, I mentioned something to you a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
And this one really makes me like, what?
Makes me nervous.
I thought most of us felt pretty confident about this relationship, and now we're hearing that it's supposedly not good. So we need to get down to the facts on this one.
Okay. Oh, is Trump really turning his back on Bibi and Israel? Don't bet on it. This is from Jerusalem News, I guess. American isolationists and anti-Netanyahu Israelis have an ulterior motive in promoting a rift between Washington and Jerusalem. So it says it doesn't take a degree in political science to sense an ulterior motive in recent reports about a rift between U.S. President Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The effort to promote the alleged schism isn't exactly covert after all. It emanates from two sets of extremists, isolationists in the Trump camp and anti-Netanyahu Israelis. The former consider the slogan "Make America Great Again" as an excuse for staying out of the world's conflicts, as though battles though battles abroad, even against radical Islamists bent on toppling the great Satan and annihilating the small one, are of no concern to Americans. We continue saying that White House Steve Witkoff dismisses reports of Trump-Netanyahu rift, calling it preposterous. He goes on to say that senior advisor and assistant to the president, Steve Witkoff, told Breitbart News that any reports of a rift between President Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu are fake news and preposterous. I tell you, first of all, it sounds like we have a very similar thought process that half these reports we discount, so maybe we should discount more than half. Witkoff said in an exclusive interview filmed at the White House last week when asked about such reports. I think this report is going to be deadly accurate, but Prime Minister Netanyahu and the Israeli people are a staunch ally of the United States, and it goes back the other way. Yeah, I've been at multiple meetings with the president and prime minister. They're friendly. They're good friends, in fact. That doesn't mean they agree on absolutely everything, and I think that's the tendency, right? You have a newspaper person who hears about a small disagreement about something that normal human beings like me and you would pay no attention to, but that particular newspaper reporter then conflates that into some large article about some massive issues that they have. It's preposterous. Israel is a great partner of the United States strategically, economically. We think very much alike. We have very similar objectives. They don't want to see a weaponized nuclear state in the state of Iran. And so I don't think there's much daylight between how they think and how we think from a foreign policy perspective. So we have that. And then we also have the new secretary to the ambassador, I should say, to Israel, Mike Huckabee, is also saying it's ridiculous. Ambassador Huckabee says to Israelis, don't worry, Trump still loves you. Don't worry, Orange Man still loves you. U.S. Ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, has a message to Israelis worried that President Donald Trump is leaving them out in the cold as he pursues agreements with the Arab governments and with Iran. Don't worry, the Times of Israel is saying. The Huckabee said in several interviews aired on Israeli television, despite reports that the relationship between U.S. President Donald Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu has soured, the bond between the U.S. leader and the Jewish state is as strong as it's ever been. I would just say to the people, relax, calm down. Donald Trump still loves you. There's no doubt about that. He's got your back. The U.S. ambassador said, he is the same Donald Trump that for 4 years as president did more for Israel than any other president in American history. And by the way, he's the one that finally moved the embassy to Jerusalem. So, we actually saw that embassy when we were there. We drove up and saw it from the outside, and we turned on Donald Trump Road, Donald Trump Avenue. Yeah. And there it was, sitting there.
Yes, it was.
It wasn't as big and elaborate as I thought it was, but it
wasn't.
But it was there. So, all right. So I've done a lot of talking, 3 different articles.
Yeah.
What is your opinion? What are you hearing? Because I knew that you were hearing a lot. And I'm going to show you right after we discuss this. I'm going to show you one more thing that was making the rounds. We shall see. But this next thing I'm going to show you is the biggest thing about this rift. But what have you been hearing?
Just pretty much the same as what you just reported here. And it did help me. I mean, we still never know, right?
Right.
We read these articles. We talk about this. We have other sources, maybe watch some videos on YouTube or whatever. But it did help calm me down because it did make me a little nervous initially. But then I have to remind myself, well, you can't really necessarily believe anything either, whether it's good or bad. You don't know if that's the full truth. So again, I have to say, time will tell.
Time will tell. And, there's a lot of different opinions. I'm sure even in the live chat and the comments and the replays all around the world, Israel is a lightning rod for criticism. I mean, there are people that are all in that Israel can do no wrong. There are people that can't stand Israel, that are anti-Israel, anti-Zionist. They, all this kind of stuff. There are people that believe that Israel is not the real Israel, that the church, the replacement theology, that the Christian church is now Israel. Yeah. There are people that are pro-Israeli people, but anti-Netanyahu and anti the government. So you've got all these things, but make no mistake about it. You've got this little sliver of land that's less than the size of New Jersey that the whole world will not stop talking about. and that the whole world is worried about. And the whole
That's for
world's
sure.
got the strongest opinion. There's more strong opinions about Israel than there are about America. The world, it's unbelievable to me, this little tiny country. That alone tells me, the power of God.
Yes.
And that alone tells me why God's word said, keep your eye on Israel, no matter how you feel about them.
Absolutely. Woo!
I mean, you can't study prophecy without studying Israel.
Absolutely.
I mean, it is a landmark moment when they became a country again, regardless of how you feel about them.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, I'm just thinking, to have lived in that time, how prophetic that was, and what people would have been thinking, and to see that come to fulfillment. I mean, wow.
Exactly. All right. So the last thing on this is Mike Huckabee also addressed that it started coming out. There was rumors that there was going to be a declaration of a Palestinian state while he is in Saudi Arabia. So there again, I would not be surprised whatever comes out. But I'm just going to tell you what Huckabee is saying. The ambassador to Israel claims that the Trump will recognize a Palestinian state are nonsense, he says. Speculation has been swirling over the possibility of a major announcement regarding a Palestinian state. U.S. President Donald Trump could formally recognize the state of Palestine in the Gulf at the Gulf U.S. Summit in Saudi Arabia in mid-May, according to the news outlet Media Line. The report cites unnamed diplomatic sources. The summit, which is taking place in the Saudi capital, Riyadh, was preceded by numerous predictions regarding an announcement that Trump referred to as a very important announcement during his meeting with Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney at the White House. The UN ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, has dismissed the reports of recognition of Palestine as nonsense. Now listen to this. Palestine is recognized as a sovereign nation by 147 countries, including Russia and most of the Middle East, Africa, and Asia. However, most Western European countries, Israel and the U.S., do not officially consider it a sovereign state. Many nations have called for the recognition as the only way to resolve the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, which escalated in 2023 when Israel launched a military attack against Gaza, following a surprise Hamas attack that killed about 1,200 Israelis and saw 250 taken hostage. President Trump will issue a declaration regarding the state of Palestine and an American recognition of it, and there will be the establishment of the Palestinian state without the presence of Hamas. A Gulf diplomatic source who declined to be named or disclose his position told the outlet. The source also added that the announcement, quote, will be the most important declaration that will change the balance of the power of the Middle East. The report comes amid speculation over remarks that Trump made earlier during a meeting with Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney, when he repeatedly said a very, very big announcement about a certain subject that he planned to make either before or during his upcoming trip to the Middle East. While he did not specify what the announcement would entail, he said it would be very positive. Some observers suggest it could refer to the Israel-Palestine conflict. Now, it is of my opinion that if he does that, I will be shocked. First of all, I will be shocked. Yeah. Second of all, if he does that, there will be some in the faithful MAGA world that will never turn on him, but he will lose a lot of MAGA people if he does that. What it will look like to a lot of people is that the ultimate deal maker, which is what Trump has worked so hard to present himself to be, the alpha male in the room, has been overridden and has been pressured into something, because I don't believe that he wants to do this. So if he does this, then somehow he's been pressured into saying that for your legacy, for your greatness, you can get all these other countries to recognize Israel. I don't think he's going to do it. But if he does it, this is my opinion how it's going to happen. It's going to be a deal, a tit for tat. We, as all these Arab countries that have called for the elimination of this so-called great Satan, you're the great Satan, they're the little Satan, we will reverse course and recognize the little Satan and recognize Israel's right to exist if you will recognize a Palestinian state. I think that's, if it happens, it's going to happen as a result of that, so that he can sign this great Abrahamic Accord and end it, and just his legacy be that he wins the Nobel Peace Prize. He brought peace to Israel and all of this, but at what cost?
Right.
I mean, you can't divide the land. The Bible says, "Do not divide the land."
I mean, it's hard to imagine hearing them say that they acknowledge Israel with all of the hatred, you know? I'm imagining seeing them saying that, and then not long after, some major attack beginning again. So,
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe your scenario happens.
No, I hope it don't happen.
Doesn't happen.
Yeah, I literally just saying that I think that if it does happen,
Yeah,
it will be because of that. But I hope it don't happen.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going with you. So. Anyway,
You're not going with me where? I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying right here.
You're gonna stay right here.
I'm not going.
Okay. Hopefully it doesn't. I mean, I'm just so much war. I mean,
Yeah.
gosh, so many bad implications. We don't need that. We don't need that. It's crazy enough right now.
So if this program is giving any kind of value to you, whatever, just go ahead and help us out. Hit the like button. If you're new to our program tonight, subscribe wherever you're following us. Share this. We always tell people, copy the link when it's over with and send it in a text to about 5 to 10 people that you know this is the kind of stuff they like. We'd appreciate it greatly. Now, let's sort of go down the road, because before we're anything, we pastor a church. We've been pastoring the same church here. We're unapologetic. We've never hid that on this channel. We've been pastoring the same church now for a little over 30 years. We've been in pastoral ministry for 35 years. And by the way, do the math. We've only been married 36. So we've been in ministry really for about 35 and a half years. We got married in May of a particular year. We will not date ourselves, but age ourselves. Well, I guess I just did. But,
yeah, you totally
okay,
did.
I think
right
I just
there.
did. Yeah.
I think they can do math.
They could do math. And so, we got married in May, and by August we were youth pastors, and we've been pastoring ever since then. But so every once in a while we got to go down there. So I found this article, and I thought, I'm going to cover this tonight. We don't typically do this on Monday nights, but I'm going to cover this. And I like this guy, Michael Snyder. He says, this week will begin. This week will begin. Notice the date, May 12th. This week will begin a process that will either lead to peace or it will lead to World War III.
Well, wow, when you put it that way, my goodness.
Exactly. Are we about to see Russian President Vladimir Putin and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky sitting across from each other at a negotiating table in Turkey? It looks like that could actually happen this week. If both leaders really do show up, there will be peace negotiations in Turkey starting on Thursday. But will these negotiations lead to peace, or will they lead to World War III? Western leaders were threatening to hit Russia with a new round of very harsh sanctions if the Russians did not agree to do a 30-day ceasefire beginning on March 12th. In response, Russian President Vladimir Putin offered to start direct talks with Ukraine. I think that was supposed to be May 12th. Russian president, of course, we know is coming up on the 15th. We already covered that. But some Western leaders are suggesting that Putin is not serious about peace. This is an opinion piece here. But to me, it definitely sounds like he is ready for substantial talks with the Ukrainians. He said, according to through translator to the BBC, Putin said, "We are determined to have serious negotiations with the Ukraine. The purpose is to eliminate the root." Listen to the wording here. The purpose is to eliminate the root causes of the conflict and establish a long-term lasting peace with the historical perspective. If you've been following this channel, you know some of the things that Putin says is he believes were root causes, that he believes that he has a right to certain things that they were taken from him. We do not exclude that during these negotiations, it will be possible to agree to some new truces, a new ceasefire, moreover, a real ceasefire that would be observed not only by the Russian side, but also by the Ukrainian side. Surprisingly, it appears that the Ukrainian president has accepted the offer to meet on the 15th. So we've already read his response. I'm not going to read it again. But it goes on to say this person's opinion, and I want you to hear his opinion, and I want you to know your opinion, Sandy, as well as those in the chat.
Yeah.
Just getting to Putin and Zelensky just getting them in the same room is a monumental achievement. Zelensky agreed to go to Turkey due to pressure from President Trump. After Putin proposed the meeting in Turkey, President Trump went on Truth Social and strongly urged the Ukrainians to accept. Now, it goes on to say, as I go down in this article, that some of the conditions that Russia's going to say that they won't, the Ukrainians are not likely to agree to any of the conditions that Russia has repeatedly said that they won't. Russia is probably not going to agree to some of the demands that Ukraine has, and that's to retreat from some of the land that they have taken. As we get down in here into it, it goes on to say, this is why this week is so big. It says, let's see right here. As President Trump has stated, if negotiations fail, his administrations will know where everything stands and can proceed accordingly. This is the one chance for peace with Russia. We must not blow it. Sadly, it appears that our one chance at peace with Iran is already gone. So that's why he's saying this week is so monumental. Yeah. Now we're talking about Iran. The Iranians insist they must be allowed to continue to enrich uranium, and they will not budge on that position. President Trump's special envoy, Steve Witkoff, says that it is not acceptable to the United States in any circumstance. Right. According to Witkoff, a nuclear enrichment program can never exist in the state of Iran, never again. But that's our red line, no enrichment. That means dismantlement. It means no weaponization, and it means no Natanz, Fordo, it's gone. These are the three enrichment facilities have to be dismantled. Witkoff added he thinks Iranians have no choice but to accept the position Trump against enrichment. Obviously, they can say no and they can test President Trump, but I think it would be an unwise thing for them to do. The Trump administration was really hoping that Iran would back down, but that was never going to happen. So it's a matter of time before the bombing of Iran's nuclear program begins. As I have repeatedly warned, that will spark an apocalyptic conflict in the Middle East unlike anything we have ever seen. To a very large degree, 2025 will be defined by what is going to happen in the Middle East in the months ahead. And this person says, I'm convinced that it won't be too long before events start to spiral out of control in a major way. Ooh. And I'm going to tell you something. I hope he's wrong, but I'm going to tell you something. I think he's probably past 50% correct. It has to happen eventually, according to Scripture. But I will look. Trump surprises me all the time. Okay, I'm always shocked that he's able to pull something off. Right. If he's able to pull off, and you hear that Iran has agreed to the terms that they will never have a nuclear bomb, it will be one of the most shocking things you've ever heard.
Yeah, definitely.
They flat out said, no, we're gonna do it. And here's why they want it. They want it to destroy Israel. So Israel has come out this week, Sandy, and said, Netanyahu said, we are starting to, that word decouple again, our dependence upon American security. And if we have to go alone, we will go alone. We're not leaving Gaza. We're going to finish Gaza. We're going to occupy Gaza as long as we want to because it's not occupying, it's ours, is what they're saying. And we will bomb Iran if America doesn't do it. And Trump is mad. And that's what all this is supposed to be because Trump is trying to get this deal.
Yes.
And Netanyahu is saying there can't be no deal. Yeah. So what's going to happen?
Exactly. So the words of this reporter, this journalist, are definitely disturbing. I'm sitting here thinking, how much authority is he speaking from? You know, does he really know as much as he presents to know? I mean, a lot of the things he said are common knowledge, but to come out at the end and pin those words, that is just beyond what our minds can comprehend. I mean, just think about what he was saying.
Exactly.
We've never seen anything like this in our country or anywhere near our country. So we need to pray.
Yeah, we do.
We need to be in serious prayer this week. We're talking about 3 days from right now.
Big week.
This, kicking off. So.
And wouldn't it be just like a terrorist-minded person to while all the world is looking at Turkey and the negotiations for a peace between Ukraine and Russia for some major event to happen in the Middle East, in Iran, or inside Israel?
Of course. And who
I mean, I would not be surprised.
is going to be allowed to do this so-called dismantling? I mean, according to some sources, don't worry about what they have above the ground. You need to be doubly worried about what they have below the ground.
Absolutely.
Underground. So, oof.
And also, don't believe that they don't already have it.
Yes.
Are you kidding me? You think they haven't already enriched uranium?
Yeah.
Seriously?
There's that too. Because has it not been close to 2 years ago? People were reporting they just need what? 2 more months?
Yeah. That was 2 years ago.
Just 2 more months and they're going to be ready.
Yeah. It's always been, there's just a few months away.
They're
They've
so
been saying
close.
it's a few months away for
so
years.
Close. I know.
Yeah.
I think about that a lot. I'm like,
So we know. How about this headline, y'all? What about this? The United Nations could run out of money within months.
yes.
Yay!
I'm for that plan. Woo! Let's make sure that happens. Let's make sure that one happens.
Do you want to, before I scroll down, do you want to take a guess of why the director of the United Nations says that they're about to run out of money? Have any idea?
Because some large superpower is no longer funding you. Oh,
Nailed it.
thank you.
The United Nations, this is unbelievable to read this, y'all, could become unable to pay its staff and suppliers by
Aw.
September.
Where's my tiny violin?
Wait a minute, where's that? I can't even remember which one it is. Let's see, is this it?
Get my tiny violin, please. Yeah.
Cannot pay the staff and suppliers by September and its peacekeepers by mid-2025, following an outsized projected deficit and a leaked White House proposal to end funding for the intergovernmental body, according to reports. The United Nations' $200 million deficit in 2024 is measly compared to the $1.1 billion deficit that the organization is projected to incur at the end of 25.
Look at the difference. Look at that gap.
Well, what's different about last year and this year?
A different leader?
Something's really big different. Projected to incur in budget cuts, according to the Economist. The deficit reportedly will hobble the organization's ability to pay salaries and suppliers by September. United Nations is billed to inform its member states Saturday that its $3.7 billion budget intended to help it avoid default has already been slashed by 17%. United Nations reportedly will pause hiring new staff because of the cuts. UN peacekeepers risk becoming unpaid. By mid-2025, Secretary General Antonio Guterres reportedly warned in February. Stringent budget rules and defaulting member states have left the United Nations cash-strapped. A leaked Trump administration memo proposing to stop the U.S. from making mandatory contributions to the UN could bankrupt the body. The leaked April memo proposed an end to U.S. funding of the United Nations and its peacekeeping nations, as well as NATO and 20 other organizations. Also proposed were a 54% cut in U.S. humanitarian aid and 55% cut in global health funding, according to the Washington Post. President Trump also signed an executive order on February 4th to withdraw U.S. membership of the United Nations and review the nation's improvement in various international organizations. Can we listen to just a few minutes, a couple of seconds of Antonio Guterres?
Antonio, that's nice.
That's the way we say it in Alabama. Hello, Antonio Guterres.
The Secretary General will read a statement. We will not be taking questions today.
Not be taking questions.
Ladies and gentlemen of the media, I want to start by expressing my deep concern about information received in the last 48 hours by UN agencies, as well as many humanitarian and development NGOs, regarding severe cuts in funding by the United States.
Ding, 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 ding.
These cuts impact a wide range of critical programs, from life-saving humanitarian aid to support to vulnerable communities recovering from war or natural disasters, from development to fight against terrorism and illicit drug trafficking. The consequences will be especially devastating for vulnerable people around the world.
I've heard enough.
Exactly.
But did you hear what he led with? We have not to report upon the serious sensitive document. I sound like I'm from Germany or something. A very serious document that has come into my possession within the last 48 hours. That America is not going to be our cash cow anymore.
Right. How that whole thing needed to be reworked if one country not doing their contribution risk shutting you down.
Yeah. I mean, is that not obvious that what Trump's been saying about people not doing their fair share
Exactly.
around the world?
That's it. That's it. And hey, we're not going to take it anymore.
We're not gonna take it. No, we're not gonna take it. We're 80s kids.
Yep.
We're not gonna take it anymore.
And you know what? We should probably tell everybody that our favorite
Oh, Lord, be careful.
radio station that we flip over to every once in a while to
No, we
hear
don't.
that
No.
vintage music.
No, we don't.
We're now so vintage
Yeah,
that they're moving out.
we're not classic rock anymore. Now we're vintage.
Yeah.
The 90s music is classic rock now.
Yeah.
We're so old, we're not even classic anymore.
You turn on the station to just hear a little snippet of the 80s, and now you got to hear the 90s and the 2000s.
I'm
So
like-
they've taken even that away from us.
Yeah, that's what this is.
Can't have anything anymore.
It's old. We're old. Well, this ain't the Trump show, but he's in the news like crazy, so we have to cover it. Y'all, he confirms today that Qatar, a terrorist country, is giving a U.S. luxury Boeing jet free of charge.
I am so glad that you are doing this story because when I first heard this headline, I was like, awesome. Nothing could possibly go wrong with this, right?
No.
To get a luxury plane from Qatar.
Yeah.
I'm sure they would never think to
Plant something in it.
sneak anything inside there.
Listening
Nothing.
devices, something like you. Of course, we know they would scale it. They would just break that thing down and decide and look at it. But Trump is like, what kind of idiot wouldn't take a free gift? What do you want me to do? Just pay for it? It's free. It's free. Come on, we're trying to save money. Look inside Trump's magnificent new Air Force One jet, acquired from an unlikely source. Watch this, but this is the key here. And this is sad. After Boeing failed, President Trump is so desperate for a new Air Force One jet that he has asked a Florida-based company to overhaul a plane once used by the Qatari government. The move comes amid years-long delays in the provision of 2 replacements for the aging presidential planes that the president commissioned during his last time in office after becoming frustrated at Boeing's apparently inability to deliver the order that Trump wants. L3 Harris, a defense contractor, to transform the luxury aircraft previously used by Qatar by the fall. So let's look at a little bit inside here. I mean, that's pretty impressive. That's a plane, y'all.
That's a plane.
That's a plane.
Woo.
Wow. Look at here. My goodness. Wow. I call that luxury. I mean, that sort of looks like Trump, don't it?
Gold.
Gold.
It's golden age.
It's gold. Everything.
With a lot of gold.
Everything's gold.
It's a golden age. It's going to be a lot of gold.
Lot of gold. The interior plane, done by famed French interior design Alberto Pinto,
Thank God.
is filled with ornate suites, staterooms, lounges, and dining rooms. Nearly every room on board has plush carpeting, leather couches, and golden furnishes. The conference room has gorgeous tan and cream chairs with deep cushions that are adjustable with a push of a button. The quarters of the plane are lined with reflective gold-colored walls that are reminiscent of Trump's design choices of his own properties as Trump Tower in Midtown Manhattan. The plane is considered to be one of the most lavish in the world and once listed for about $400 million. And they're saying, we want to give it to you. Y'all and Trump, Mr. Trump, we don't want anything in return. Oh, yeah, right. Come on.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna give no $400 million plane to the most powerful man in the world if you ain't trying to get something. Can we just tell it like it is?
Tell it.
There ain't no way.
I wonder when we get to see exactly what it is that they might be
Getting.
wanting.
Yeah.
Or getting.
And I think it might be tied to all this talk we've been talking about. I mean, Israel's got to be involved in that. And I'm just hoping and praying that, and he says he can't be bought. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Y'all ever heard of Dan Bongino?
Yeah.
Dan Bongino had one of the most popular podcasts in the world. I think he was number 2 behind Joe Rogan. And he walked away from it all to become the assistant director of the FBI under Kash Patel. Yeah. And he's been completely silent. He went offline. He hadn't said anything. This week, y'all, look what he said. Dan Bongino came out and said the FBI releasing files on COVID cover-up, Mar-a-Lago raid, Epstein case, and more. Wow. He went to X, and this is what he said. I would like to update on some things that I think are going well and some things that we can and will do better. The workforce has been working overtime on task force operations to remove dangerous illegal aliens from the country. The work continues. The message is clear. It goes on to say, if you came here illegally to prey on our citizens, your days here are numbered. These removal and incarceration operations will dramatically change the crime landscape in the country. When combined with the administration's laser focus on sealing the border shut, expect these operations to ramp up, not slow down. Crimes against children are a priority for the workforce. Operation Restoring Justice, where we locked up child predators and 64 suspects in every part of the country, is just the beginning. We're going to take your freedom. If you take away a child's innocence. And thank you for that super sticker, Vic.
Thank you very much.
Think twice if you've targeted children, because you're next. We're clearing information to Congress and to the public as quickly as possible. In just the couple of months since we have sworn in, we've responded to requests for information on the attacks of Representatives Scalise and members of Congress, the Nashville attack, Crossfire Hurricane, the COVID cover-up, and more. We are working with the Department of Justice on the Epstein case, and as AG stated, there are voluminous amounts of downloaded child, I'm not going to say that we're dealing with. There are also the victim statements that are entitled to special protections. We need to do this correctly, but I do understand the public's desire to get the information out there. We're doing our best in the current budgetary environment to prioritize this mission, act in good physical stewards, find waste and inefficiencies, and act reform. But we'll get it done. We have weekly meetings where with our CFO, blah, blah, blah. I have no desire to sugarcoat this one. It's been difficult in this new role to stay relatively quiet while certain elements of the media continue to entirely fabricate stories about what we're doing at the FBI. But that's part of the job as a public servant. I don't work for myself anymore. I work for the public. And while I can't address all the nonsense in this one post, I will address the repeated attacks on Director Patel. The director's office is attached to mine, and I'm in most of the briefings that he is. He spends anywhere between 10 to 12 hours in the office, attending meetings, and everyone from foreign heads to law enforcement. Any assertion otherwise is a verifiable lie designed to stop our reforms and fracture your trust. I will die on this hill. You are being clearly lied to by the people with an agenda, and it is not our agenda.
Whoa.
So he come out and said, whether he's going to follow through it or not, don't believe what you've been told. We are going to roll these things out.
So I was listening and trying to read as you were calling all those things. The Nashville cover-up, is that the Christmas Day
I think so.
bomb thing?
Yeah.
And Steve Scalise, when he was shot at the congressional baseball game, how many years ago has that been?
Oh, a long time. And that's what he's saying is there are things about that shooter. Remember, he went hunting Republicans, is what he said. Yeah. He went to hunt Republicans. And it was just squashed.
Right.
Nobody ever talked about it.
No, I'm happy that he is doing that particular thing. I'm happy for Steve Scalise and all the other people that were injured that day. And, Stephen Scalise is permanently, I hate to say damaged, but I've seen him walk and, I feel sorry for him because I feel some of his pain as far as limitation. Certainly I didn't go through what he went through, but yeah, what a horrifying event to have to go through. And I'm sure he's going to have limitations probably for the rest of his life, but thank goodness somebody cares enough to go back and try to right some of this wrong.
Exactly. And I never even heard what happened to the guy got killed, right?
I believe he was.
Yeah, that's right.
I think he was.
Yeah, I remember now. A woman police officer was there and she shot him. She killed him. They had 2 Secret Service agents there around the dugout.
What year that was.
So good while back. Yeah, y'all know y'all love to see this guy, Bill Gates. Y'all, when he first came out, man, I'm telling you, I was
farmer.
You remember when I first started becoming a tech guy and I started studying tech? I was a Windows guy before I started using Apple. I thought this guy was amazing.
Great. And we all believe the story of his humble beginnings.
Yeah. That he was just, all he wanted to do is make
computers in his garage.
He wanted to make computers great again. He wanted to make computers great for the first time. Mm-hmm. That's all it was. He's just a computer guy. But guess what? He's also known for mutant rice and Bill Gates lab rats. So India...
Don't forget those mosquitoes.
And he's already got the mosquitoes that he's already let go in Florida. Yeah. In late 2024, Bill Gates sparked outrage in India after describing the country as a kind of laboratory to try things. During a podcast, Gates emphasized the nation's stability as a testing ground. His remarks were widely condemned. Social media erupted with many Indians accusing Gates of reducing their nation to a mere experimental ground. You think? Social media users labeled Indians as guinea pigs in Gates' laboratory.
Somebody said Bill Snakes.
Yeah, that's a good one. Kill Gates. There's all kinds of names.
Of hell.
Come on. The controversy resurfaced on May 5th when it became the first country to officially release 2 genome-edited rice varieties. Y'all, rice is what's keeping the world alive. The world is staying alive with rice.
And you're going to mess with the rice?
What? And look what his name is. Kamala. How could they let that get out? Is that real? Am I reading that right? Is that how she spelled her name, Kamala?
Yeah, that's the spelling. She pronounced it.
Kamala.
Yeah.
Kamala.
But yeah.
Yeah. So 2 genome-edited mutant rice varieties. One of them named Kamala.
Does that not just...
That was named Pusa.
Does that just make your skin crawl when you say mutant?
Mutant rice.
Mutant. You all want mutant rice, right?
Yeah, come on.
Right, come on.
Hey,
give it a chance.
Mama, make me some of that mutant rice.
You want that mutant rice.
Oh, everybody wants mutant rice. Well, unlike traditional GM crops, which introduce foreign DNA, these gene-edited varieties use CRISPR.
Of course they do.
More shameless book promo. I got a whole chapter about CRISPR technology.
Hang on to this article.
Yeah, I might go back and re-edit, put this in there. The distinction is heavily promoted by the agro-biotech industry. You think so? Mm-hmm. In an attempt to ensure gene-edited crops bypass strict biosafety regulations and multi-year field trials required for GM programs. In 2022, the Indian government exempted such plants from hazardous substance, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. So now you've got one of the largest nations in the world. China and India compete for the population. Right. I think probably India is probably the biggest now. Mm-hmm. And so what better place? They got the most people in the world in one country. Right. And they eat a lot of rice.
This looks like a great laboratory for me to use. Let's do a quick breakdown of this man, Bill Gates.
Here we go.
He was, predominant in the field of computers.
Yep.
And he and his wife were the world's greatest inoculation team with all of their wonderful medicines that they went around the world. He is the greatest farmer owns more farmland than certainly anyone in this country.
Yep. Did you know that? Big picture family?
And now he is into insects and food.
Yep.
Wow.
Wow.
This is a evil, maniacal control freak.
Yes.
Who wants to get his hands into all of these different areas.
Yes.
And quite frankly, control mechanisms. Because, hey, how many people can you control if you're controlling their food source? Right? How much damage can you do if you are influential in these inoculations in this part of the medical field? How much control or foothold can you get in technology when you are so deeply steeped into the technological field? And how much control can you have over people in this country and maybe even reaching out into other continents when you literally own so much of the usable farmland?
Absolutely. And then you take everything you just said and then you coupled it under that he is one of the predominant depopulation proponents.
Oh, absolutely.
In history.
I mean, it's creepy to watch the TED Talks and the other interviews where he just flippantly says,
got too many people.
Got to bring that population down.
It's just too many people.
It's just too many.
We can't survive unless we
just
eliminate.
Like he's sitting up there with some kind of control panel, which in a way he is, to do just that.
Yeah. And all the things that you listed, food, inoculations,
right,
farmland,
right,
the bugs, livestock, bugs. All these things are things that directly affect humanity and humanity's survival. So if you control all that and you manipulate it one direction, if your goal is to remove people, you can take all those things you got your hands in and you can eliminate a lot of people.
And it's not even all of just his money. What do they call him? The Oracle of Omaha?
Right.
Didn't he give him $1 billion? Yeah. He gave several $100 million or $1 billion or whatever to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation years ago. Oh, let us not forget, was he not deeply involved in Event 201?
Yes, he was.
That tabletop exercise that preceded the wah-wah in October of what year was it? 2019?
Yep. Several people in the live chat are pointing this out. I did know this, that he come out this week and said out of nowhere he's going to shut down the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation in 2045, and he's going to give all of his money away. $200 billion. He's going to empty it.
I did hear that.
And he's going to shut it down by 2045.
Believe it when I say it.
Yeah. So people in the live chat are saying, they're saying that he's predicting the end of humanity, that so he won't need to be doing this stuff anymore because he'll have his number where he wants it by 2045.
Did anybody, I don't know what year it was, but he lives in Seattle, right?
Well, he did. I don't know where he lives now. That's where he was raised.
Where the Needle was.
Yes.
Where they did that giant display at nighttime.
Yeah.
The Needle.
Yeah.
Before the wah-wah.
Well.
Did anybody see that? Yeah.
I think you're about to be on to something there.
Look. Oh my God. Evil. Even his parents. One of them was a eugenicist.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, this is I don't know. All of this, he started in a garage and he rose to such fame and wealth and power. I'm sorry, guys. This is like it was cooked up in a Hollywood studio.
Yeah.
And thrust on to the public.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
You cannot believe any of this.
No, you can't.
You cannot believe any of this.
Y'all, we are living the days of Noah.
Yeah.
That's what this is. This is the days of Noah. This is manipulation of DNA.
Yes.
This is the messing up of the bloodline. This is the crossing between it was angels and humanity and beasts and all this kind of stuff. Now it's manifesting through technology, and now we have the transhumanism movement.
The audacity.
That's what
the audacity of anybody to say, yeah, we're going to mess around with the mosquitoes. We're going to see what we can do. Yeah, we're going to give all of these vaccines out.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to tell everybody we're going to help them. We're going to help humanity.
Right.
Going to go buy up all the farmland.
Yep.
Going to go do this. Going to go do that. We're going to annihilate viruses on your computer. God only knows while they were supposedly annihilating viruses on your computer, what they were actually doing with your computer, right?
Exactly.
I mean, it just makes me angry.
Well, let me help you.
Okay.
Let me help you.
Oh, this is supposed to fix everything?
Jimmy! Oh, good, Jimmy. You know what it is? It's the Supernatural AI Update. Never gets old. Never gets old.
It might get a little old.
No.
Never?
Never.
Okay.
Never. The people around the world cannot wait for the Supernatural AI Update.
So,
and I know you get excited about it.
You're saying they've already got their favorite beverage and their popcorn and they're ready?
Yep. They got their tinfoil hats on. Wait a minute. Here we go.
Put mine on.
It's been a long time.
In a while.
We ain't seen that in a while, y'all.
This thing's falling apart.
Yeah.
Girl.
People's going to try to figure out what this is. We need to do something. This is not symbolic of any kind of weird esoteric.
No, let me slump down a little bit.
I mean, this is just.
These need to be straightened out.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's not. Don't try to read anything into that. There's nothing there.
If you want to know the truth, some of the kids did something.
Yeah, they did.
Funny.
That grandbaby.
They were just being funny.
Yeah.
And so I inherited this. So it's all good.
It's all good.
It's all good.
You took that. You took it for the show, baby.
I took one for the show.
So proud of you. Let me fix your hair for you.
Thank you.
Take care of my baby.
Thank you.
Well, let's lead by just saying, hey, good news to the students out there and the moms and dads. Teachers are now using AI to grade their students' work. To send a clear message, they don't matter and will soon be obsolete. The results are dismal. Yeah. Talk to a teacher lately and you'll probably get an earful about AI's effect on students' attention spans, reading comprehension, and cheating. As AI becomes ambiguous in everyday life, thanks to tech companies forcing it down our throats.
So you're saying, silly you're just helping to alleviate your job even quicker.
Exactly. It's probably no shocker that students are using software like ChatGPT at a nearly unprecedented scale. One study by the Digital Education Council found that nearly 86% of university students use some type of AI in their work. I believe it's more than 86%. Yeah. That's causing some fed-up teachers to fight fire with fire, using AI chatbots to score their students' work. As one teacher mused on Reddit, you are welcome to use AI. Just let me know if you do. The AI will also grade you. You don't write it, I don't read it. So what's your thoughts on that? Teachers are saying, hey, you can play this game.
Yeah, slippery slope.
Yeah.
What, two wrongs gonna make a right? I don't think so.
I don't. But y'all, let's go ahead and go there.
And
the truth is, we can't.
Wrong. I mean,
we can't do anything about it.
No, we can't do anything about it.
We can't stop it.
But also, there's no line, there's no boundary. There's this useful thing, but nobody knows how to.
Nobody knows.
Tap the brakes or whatever. It's just,
it's so uncertain. We're living in such an uncertain world.
Right. And while we say, hey, it's there, let's use it. Okay, yeah, but we're just pushing. You're pushing yourself, and we're pushing society closer to being out of a job, right?
I know. Look, the truth is, I've told you I use it. I know I'm part of the problem. Yeah. I know I'm part of the problem.
Well, you can get questions answered. You can do a little study, a little research here.
Google lost traffic for the first time in their history.
I saw that story. 20%, down 20%?
20% because people are doing ChatGPT. We were talking to our family over Mother's Day weekend about this, and he's like, yeah, look at my phone. He said, I've already taken Google off my phone and replaced it with ChatGPT. He said, so when I'm searching now, it's becoming a search engine.
Right.
But here's the danger in that. Two things. Number one, danger in using AI as a search engine is, and I know Google has manipulated data for a long time, but the thing about Google is when you would Google something, you would get multiple links to go read outside things.
Yes.
You ask ChatGPT the same question you ask Google, you get what ChatGPT wants you to get.
Absolutely.
You don't get, okay, New York Times said this and this conservative newspaper said this. And you can just sort of deep dive. No, you just get what it tells you that it thinks it ought to get.
And how many people are saying, wait a minute, maybe I need one more opinion? Maybe I
Right. Because you only get one opinion.
How many people do you think are doing that?
Not many.
No.
They're going by what they get.
And all the while, you guys are pushing us closer to brownouts and blackouts.
Yeah.
Grid going down. Because we all know it takes more electricity
Yep.
for all of those
One
results.
search versus that. Yes. What was it, like 10, 15 times? Something like that?
Stupid numbers.
Stupid numbers. That's why they're building their own nuclear plants.
Not fast enough, because I keep seeing these articles. Get ready for blackouts. The grid could go down any day.
Plead the blood of Jesus.
And I know that they're referring to, okay, it's going to be getting very hot before we want it to, before we even realize. Going to have a heat wave, poor Texas, poor the rest of us. And it's going to put us closer to those brownouts and blackouts.
Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm putting myself out there because, and y'all may be being a laughing stock here. I don't know what this app is called, Fiverr. If it's a bad app, okay, if it's bad stuff, I don't know anything about it. But it's apparently a popular app called Fiverr. But watch what Fiverr CEO sent out to his company. It's a major company, and he sent it out. Are we all doomed? The CEO of Fiverr says AI is definitely taking your job. Here's what to do about it. So he sends out this tweet or this email. And let me see right down here, see if it shows, because I want to just see if it shows a screenshot of it. I thought I had it, but no. But these are the contents of it. But listen to what he sent out to his employees. The CEO of one of the biggest freelancing marketplaces, Fiverr, said it doesn't matter what profession you choose. AI is coming for your job. Quote, it does not matter if you are a programmer, designer, product manager, data scientist, lawyer, customer support rep, salesperson, or a finance person. AI is coming for you. He wrote an internal email sent out that warned his company's 775 employees about AI's potential to replace their job. When you hear his timeline,
Oh, boy.
oh yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. In the email, Kaufman disclosed the unpleasant truth that AI will soon take over roles, even his own. Tasks that were once considered easy will no longer be around, and difficult tasks will become the new easy. In short, AI will create an environment where mastery and exceptional talent is a requirement to work in any field. If you do not become an exceptional talent at what you do, a master, you will face the need for a career change in a matter of months, Kaufman wrote, adding, are we doomed? Not all of us, but those who will not wake up and understand the new reality fast are unfortunately doomed. Before it gets out somewhere else, this is an email I sent yesterday. He says, I want to report that I did send this out of the websites that are talking about it. He advised his employees to study the latest tailored AI offerings for programmers. He suggested Cursor, an AI code editor, which helps with research and document review, and to reach out to team members who are knowledgeable about AI and learn from them. Your value will decrease before you know what hits you, end quote, if you don't know how to use generative AI. Kaufman is one of the many CEOs advising employees to take an AI-first approach to their work. Last week, Duolingo CEO publicly posted a memo he sent to his employees that said the companies were replacing human contact workers with AI. Meanwhile, last month, Shopify CEO publicized an internal email he sent to employees encouraging them to turn to AI before asking for more human employees on the team.
Wow. Well, let me ask you
They are
this.
starting.
Yeah.
It's here.
Okay, so they want their employees to use AI more, be familiar with it, put it to the task, da-da-da-da. Well, how long before this AI has mastered the human touch and we really don't need you anymore? Bye-bye. Nah. Hey.
Low single digit years numbers. Low on this side of 5. He's saying to his own employees, almost 800 employees, I love you guys, but here's the deal.
Yeah.
You are about to all be gone.
Right.
And what he was trying to say is, you got to understand, business-wise, I can't do anything about it. This is where the world is going.
This is what's happening everywhere.
Yeah.
Get on this ship, get on the train, or for real.
He was trying to give him advice.
You're being left.
He was trying to say, look,
do yourself a favor.
You,
whether you stay here, whether you go somewhere else. This is your new reality.
Yeah. He was trying to tell him, look, wake up.
Yeah.
That's what the guy from Google said the other day that we covered. He's like, this is being underhyped. You don't know what's coming.
Right. Yeah.
And we're not trying to.
We've
been accused of being scare tactics. We're not trying to scare you to death.
This is not fear porn.
This ain't fear porn.
I don't really loyal to you guys in the first place, but you do this, or it's definitely over for you, right?
Right. That's what he was saying.
Stop slowing us down. You're slowing us down.
Yeah. That's what he's trying to say.
Exactly.
That's what he's trying to say. Back to old Bill Gates. He can't seem to go away.
Seriously?
Yeah, he's back again. He
looks like this is like a scare. It reminds me of an advertisement for a slasher movie or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Standing there like some kind of freak.
And look, this image is AI generated. But Bill Gates says 2-day work week is coming as soon as AI takes over most human jobs. So he's telling us right now, it's very soon. We're going to whittle you down to 2 days. If you got a job, 2 days at the best, and then it's over.
You telling me?
That's what he's saying.
You telling me if I was counting on DoorDash or Uber, what is it, Uber Eats?
I think so.
Whatever.
They don't deliver to the country.
Is that even going to be a safety net for us anymore?
I don't know what we can believe.
I don't know. But I was in San Francisco, sitting on the curb at the wharf, and sure enough,
There it come.
That taxi or whatever you want to call it pulled up right beside me. Nobody was driving that car.
Yeah. We've reported on it, but we hadn't seen it until that day. We was like, whoa, this is real world.
This is happening.
And good thing about it, I mean, is AI going to take my job as pastor?
Well, we've already seen that.
There has been AI pastor.
You are obsolete, sir.
Solid Rock, you ain't going to be pastored by no AI. You got me. Ain't going nowhere. You hear that, AI? You listening to AI? You're not going to pastor my church, AI. Pastors need to rise up. Well, look, let's bring on Musk in. We hadn't talked about him in a long time.
That's true.
He is teasing the new 3.5, what's it called? GROK. GROK, y'all, I've been using GROK too at times. It's sort of, it's not as biased and everything because of who he is. But look what he's saying about 3.5. It's right now the latest version. If you go use GROK, it's 3.0. 3.5 is coming, and it says it will be the first AI, get this, that can come up with answers that don't exist online.
What?
Yeah. Every other element of AI, period, has used internet data to quickly get your answer.
What are you saying?
All right, here it is.
Are we tapping into another?
He's talking about that they will solve problems even if, well, let's read it. It says, according to him, it's the first AI capable of accurately tackling complex technical questions by reasoning from first principles, even generating answers that don't exist anywhere on the internet. In other words, instead of trying to search existing metadata, it's going to answer the question based on its internal knowledge of the subject.
Oh, it's already going to have everything right there.
Or going to reason it and figure it out on its own without help of any other website.
Okay.
That's the next edition that's coming within a matter of days.
Okay. Because my mind's working over here. Certainly that's impressive. Yay, whatever. But is it also an attempt to not be corrupted by,
It's already corrupt.
I mean, corrupted by having to just go out and try to pull information from other places?
No. I mean, I think they may spin it that way. No, it's just the next step of AGI.
Okay.
I think it's already, remember, we've been talking a lot about AGI and ASI.
Yes.
AGI is when it can begin to think on its own.
Oh, yeah.
What Musk is trying to tell us is we already got it. We already got it. We all already got it.
Let me ask you something. This show's been on the air for
almost 3 years.
Almost 3 years.
Yeah.
Has this show witnessed the evolution of computers having to go through this learning cycle where, okay, there's a robot and they can't really get it to understand how to perform tasks, to really do much, but now they can dance and do gymnastics. And the question is, have we seen the evolution of machine learning just in the short time?
Sandy, when we started this show, we were talking about this thing called AI.
Yes.
We were talking, there was no such thing as ChatGPT.
No.
I mean, when we started this show, there was no such thing.
But I can remember shows that we did where they were so excited that the robot could kind of grasp the apple or the whatever the object was, and very clumsily.
Yeah.
And now we're dancing and we're doing gymnastics and we're sip its coffee ever so gently.
With my pinky.
But yeah, so that's what I'm saying. We've watched this together on the big picture. It is just, it's been fast.
Family, we've gone through this together.
We've gone through this together.
We're gonna wind this thing down together too. I mean we're gonna stay in as long as we can stay in.
I mean, we call ourselves the big picture family. But truly, I feel like I'm going through this with you guys week by week. We're watching this play out together. And sometimes I get really creeped out and I feel like I need to leave, but I'm hanging in there. I'm taking it for the team because it's important. It's important.
Yes, it's important. Well, the good thing is, speaking about things that are important, one thing is important. It's good to know that we've always known that if we got sick, if we had an accident, we could always go to the hospital. China has now opened the first. Yep, there it is. AI hospital town. It's a whole town of AI. It's an AI hospital town. I don't even know what that means. To treat patients in a virtual world. It is the first ever artificial intelligence town where patients are treated in a virtual world by AI-generated doctors. The concept of an AI hospital town where virtual patients are treated by AI doctors holds immense significance for both medical professionals and the general public. The AI hospital aims to train doctor agents through a simulated environment so that it can autonomously evolve and improve its ability to treat disease. The researchers shed light on the practical implications of this novel approach to healthcare. AI doctors, listen to this, can treat 10,000 patients in a few days, a task that would take human doctors at least 2 years. Do you see where we're going here?
Right.
By simulating various AI patients, students can confidently propose treatment plans without risking harm to real patients.
So, are you saying that, do you go to a place or is this all just?
I don't know. I don't think you go to the place yet.
Okay.
AI hospital town can simulate and predict various medical scenarios such as the spread, development, and control. Lou announced that after 6 months of development, the AI hospital town is nearing readiness for practical use, aiming to be operational by the second half. Let me see.
Of this year?
Of this year. Yeah. So,
and you were upset about Teledoc. Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
And we already talked about last week or the week before that you're going to have a complete robot surgeon. We don't need humans? No.
Yo, this.
Can you imagine?
This is a movie.
Can you imagine showing up somewhere and it's all like this, but it's at an actual location and they look at you and say, you need surgery. And they just slam you on a gurney and roll you back and stuff.
Take out your heart. Here is another heart. What could go wrong?
And you were mad because Teladoc. Are you kidding me?
What could go wrong? I'll tell you what could go wrong. We not only as Meta now giving our kids AI friends that is going to be, they're going to live the virtual life. Oh, yeah. Look what it's created. This unbelievable. Even Fox News reported on this today. Shocking majority of Gen Zers would marry AI. Think it could replace human connections. Remember, majority.
And I'm thinking, what does that look like to the person that's saying that? How do they imagine their life being? What is that even?
I don't even know how to process this.
Oh, boy.
Okay, here we go. They're just wired differently. A shocking portion of Generation Z say they could form a deep emotional bond with an AI-generated partner and would even consider marrying one, a new study found. Watch this. 83% of the young people born between 1997 and 2012 said they could develop a meaningful connection with a chatbot, while 80% said they would even consider marrying one. 8 out of 10 if it was legal, according to a poll of the most digitally native age group. A staggering 75% of Gen Zers also said they think AI partners have the potential to fully replace human companionship, according to a survey of 2,000 people conducted by the digital companion platform Joy AI. The chatbot app, which describes itself as a sex positive space for users to indulge in romance, practice dating, and explore their fantasies. Joy AI offers a stress and judgment-free alternative for individuals seeking a break from traditional dating through customizable AI-powered avatars. 80%. Y'all, 80% of your kids say they could see themselves marrying, and 70-something% said they believe that AI generated could completely replace human contact in their life. How many times do we have to say we're living a movie?
Yeah.
We've seen this movie where they put the goggles on and they just live another life.
Yes.
Ready Player One.
Absolutely.
This is Ready Player One.
Yep. Plug in and forget about the disparity and every unhappiness in your life. Just be in the matrix.
My goodness. Well, we have this next thing I want to show you, and we got about 2 or 3 more things to show you, and of course you know how I do them. They build. But I have told you before, and I want to say again, you know how people here lately have been saying, I want everybody to know, I'm making a post right now, I am not unalivable.
Yes.
You know, I'm not, I want everybody to know I don't have any depression. I'm not having any unaliving thoughts.
The news has reported on multiple of those people just in the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden they change their mind and unalive themselves.
Yeah.
Okay. This is very strange. Well, that's the thing. I was just pointing that out. But I'm also want to point out right now, I want to put on the record that I do know that the enemy of this AI is the preaching of the gospel. Mm. So I believe that what you're going to start seeing is and this is not saying that, you know, we shouldn't believe it when a preacher falls into sin, that he should not be held accountable. He should not have to step down from ministry, go through healing, all this. And we see that happening a lot now. But I want to tell you that I feel like there's going to be a lot of AI driven things to try to stop the gospel. And so please understand, whether it's preachers, whether it's politicians, be careful what you automatically believe that you see, because we have shown you some of it's you can tell, but it's becoming almost undetectable.
Yes.
What is real and what is not real.
Yes.
So that being said, I want to show you this right here. This is giving an example of AI generated footage that could be made to be believable. So let's see if we can put some.
Warning! Warning!
This looks like an old VHS tape of a preacher of a church service.
Please be advised, this message is essential for your personal well-being and psychological faculties.
Well, all
In
of these,
accordance
this is AI
with
generated,
current
all of this.
transparency
Everything.
regulation, mandated by authenticity guidelines. We must inform you, this is not real. Not real, it is. Not real, this is AI. A generation.
What? It's catchy.
AI generation. Generated
Look,
by
that's a UFO.
AI.
Generated by AI.
These people do not exist.
These people do not exist.
These events did not occur.
None of this is real.
These events did not occur.
These images are lies. Do
I'm
not
freaked out.
believe your eyes.
This is not real.
I said, do not believe your eyes.
Believe your eyes. Ring. Make it stop. Shut it off. Super creepy.
In compliance with international disclosure protocols, it is essential that you understand.
Are you going to get a strike?
I'm gonna
This
get flagged.
content may contain
I'm just having too much fun.
simulated reality.
Just let it all go tonight.
What is that?
Yeah,
I don't know what that is.
Could you imagine if the Germans had this when they drugged people up and made them sit in front of the screen?
Exactly.
For all
Look, these people praising God. Said it, they're not real. None of this is real.
And whatever you do,
yeah, and the
whatever you
reason
do
we
on
know it
this
is
earth
because they
today,
made a song to go with it.
It's
Telling you that it's
believe your eyes.
Look. See?
Warning.
So my point is, so many of the things that you just saw look just like some of the things I've seen on the news. People getting in fights,
Yes.
airplanes crashing, UFOs going by a plane,
Yep.
preacher in the pulpit.
You have a great point.
We have seen those kind of things on the news.
Yes. Yes, we have.
And everything in that video was fake.
Yeah.
What are we seeing every day that is fake already?
Very good point. These kind of things, these kind of discussions, these kind of thoughts make me really uncomfortable. They make me really nervous because I begin to process what is real. And, you know, people in chat, I'm sure that's pretty much what they're getting to is, well, how much of anything we see is real? What can I trust?
Exactly. Jesus.
Jesus.
What can you trust? The word.
Yeah.
It's the one thing that survived for 2,000 plus years,
Yes.
the word.
Good
You better
point.
go back to the word. You better know who you are in God. Let me tell you something. AI is not the most powerful force in the world. The power of the Holy Spirit is the most powerful force in the world. And the second most powerful force in the world is a man or woman of God who knows who they are in God. You better know who you are in God.
Absolutely.
Because this is coming for your identity.
Yes. Yep.
Speaking of your identity, we got two more things to show you. Boy, if we had fun tonight. So this is the CEO of NVIDIA, which is, you know, he's got a big part in this play. What's going, bro? This guy's
Between him and Bill Gates and Elon and that Palantir guy and
they're all setting up the
others.
beast system. Every one of them. NVIDIA's Jensen Wang has said that the next wave of AI is physical AI.
What?
Listen.
Largest industries of the world are going to benefit. The next wave requires us to understand things like the laws of physics, friction, inertia, cause and effect, the fact that I tip that thing over, it's going to fall. When I said the bottle down, it's not going to go through the table. And so all of these common sense physical reasoning abilities that children have, that our pets have, most AIs don't have. You know, I roll a ball over the kitchen counter and it goes up over the top and it disappears. Well, the AI thinks it's disappeared, but you know, your dog knows it's on the other side. It understands this concept called object permanence, and it didn't go into another metaverse, and so it runs around the table and gets it. And a robot needs to learn that if you want to go from this side of the table to that side of the table, you can't go through the table. You're going to have to reason about how to go around the table. And so all of these type of physical reasoning things is what's called physical AI. And when you take that physical AI and then you put it into a physical object called a robot, you get robotics. The next wave, and this is really, really important for us now because, you know, we're building plants and factories all over the United States. And we'd like to build it in a way that takes advantage of the latest technologies. And so hopefully, you know, in the next 10 years, as we build out this new generation of plants and factories, they're highly robotic and they're, you know, helping us deal with the severe labor shortage that we have all over the world. This is really, really important.
Wow.
More machine learning. We must perfect this.
So think about what he's saying. He never thought about it that way. He's like, they look like they know everything, but they see the ball go on the other side of the counter and they think it's gone. The dog and the kid knows it's over there.
Right.
They're training the robots to know, wait a minute, reason this out.
Exactly.
You saw it go over. You know that's a counter. You know that's not a universe. So the ball is over there. So once it sounds so simple, but if a robot can finally understand the ball's just laying on the other side, I just need to go around this corner and pick it up, then they've got it. Now they've got all reasoning. Now they can figure out anything. That's what he's trying to illustrate is we're building factories. We want them to know, we want to be able to go in there and say, we got a new product we want to build. Yeah. Show me how you're going to build it, figure it out and go build it. And these robots are going to go build it. Yeah. Because they're going to understand how to process things. That's what Elon Musk is saying about the new 3.5, is they're going to figure out things without the internet. Y'all, do you understand what Musk just said? My next version of GROK is going to answer you at certain times without, bless you, without having to find someone else tell me.
More disturbing.
Goodness.
News. I mean, oh my.
Okay, I saved the last most disturbing.
Oh, thanks.
This one, when I watch this, it's been a long time since the hair stood up on my and creeped me out by AI. I'm sort of desensitized. I've been studying a lot of this for my book. Some of the stuff I've been figuring out for my book, y'all. Woo!
Am I going to be?
I had to go take a bath sometime to get it off of me. But before I show you this last thing, I want to tell you about our website. You can go to our website. We would love for you to go there and check it out. All of our videos, all of our social media contacts are there. You can get a copy of our book. There'll be another book on there eventually once we get it published. It's going to be powerful, talking about the days of Noah, so shall it be in the days of the coming of the Son of Man. You can contact with us. And, of course, there's a partner tab up there. If you'd like to bless our ministry, you don't have to do that. But if you want to, we sure do appreciate it. You can mail your gift in, mail your prayer request in, mail your prayer cloths in. Whatever. We've had so many prayer cloths that we prayed over. It don't cost you anything to do that. It don't cost you anything, period. We don't put any kind of demand on you. We just offer an opportunity to partner with us if you'd like to, and several of you have done that. We appreciate it because we do have the expense of our television ministry. We are on Faith TV that goes all over the world, and that is not free like this YouTube show is. So all of our partners make that possible. And by the way, if you live in Naples, Florida, I will be in the studio with Faith TV. What is that, in July? Yeah, in July. Mm-hmm. I'll be down there, and I'll let you know more about it. If you want to travel to the studio, they'll have a studio audience there. I'll be in Naples, Florida. I'll be recording 3 live shows, 2-hour shows each. One of them will be live for the Africa channel. One will be live for the Europe channel, and then one will be live for the United States and North American channel.
That's going to be cool.
It's going to be amazing. So I will tell you more about that as we get to it. All right, so here we go. There's our old friend, the one and only, what's his name? Sam Altman.
Mr. Mom.
The one that, yeah, I ain't going to say that. That is the founder and the CEO of OpenAI that has ChatGPT. Y'all, some people have been testing the voice feature, and they got a very strange encounter that was recorded, and I want y'all to see it.
Let's convert 25,000 seconds into hours. There are 3,600 seconds in an hour, so 25,000 divided by 3,600 is roughly 6.9 hours. So it'll take about 7 hours to download that 125 gigabyte file at 40 megabits per second. Wait, it's a perfect.
She was terrified.
Just about an half. No worries, it's only good to double check.
What the fuck is going on?
To get a more intuitive number, let's convert 25,000 seconds into hours. There are 3,600 seconds in an hour, so 25,000 divided by 36.
So people are saying that was just a glitch. But ChatGPT has not been, they were asked to explain it. They could not explain it. And it is being reported that more and more people are experiencing a change in the voice.
And nobody has an explanation for
And
it.
nobody has an explanation for it. They're trying to say there was just a glitch, or just a glitch, or just a glitch. Y'all, that was creepy. I just feel like I need to bind the devil right now. In the name of Jesus, I bind you, tormenting devil of hell.
Somebody said, Satan, the Lord rebuke you.
The Satan, the Lord rebuke you.
Oh my God.
That sounded like a demon. I've cast devils out of people that sounded like that. That was wild.
I can imagine someone not being born again and hearing that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Getting scared to death. I mean, it would probably be disturbing to just about everybody, but probably extremely overwhelming to some.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. So y'all just go ahead and do a cleansing prayer. If you're watching this live or on the replay, just pray. You tell every devil in that tried to come in your house.
Where's my old
It's a
bottle?
liar. Liar.
Where's my old bottle?
So have you been taking, what about the golden chicken?
Goodness. That was super creepy.
It's so much you can't even remember.
No, definitely it's coming down
to
between this last story and AI generated everything. I think you need to play that song again. Can you find it?
I got to go back to it. Oh, you want to play it one more time? All right, let's
You need to play a snippet of it one more time.
All right, hang on. Where's that?
Right, come on, guys. You have to agree. Those are the top two contenders, okay?
All right, let's go.
Come on.
All right. Warning!
Listen to the words.
Please be advised, this message is essential for your personal well-being and psychological faculties.
Your psychological faculties.
In accordance with current transparency regulations.
Preacher!
Mandated by authenticity guidelines. We must inform you this is not real.
He kicks in, y'all.
Not real. It's not real.
Not real.
Not real.
Not real. This is AI.
I'm sorry. I can't do it. I just feel weird. Can't do it.
Yeah, you better be careful. You might be the one of the ones losing their job. Just kidding.
No.
Just kidding.
No.
All right.
How about this is my song? This is not AI. Is the chicken backing me up?
You get the golden chicken award tonight.
This is not AI.
All right. This is what I want to do.
This is real.
This is what I want to do. We're going to put it out to you guys tonight. You choose between
what will it be?
AI generated everything.
That's number one. Put a number one. If you say the AI generated, and then number two.
Number two. is the last story you just did.
The demon ChatGPT.
That is number 2.
So which one gets the chicken? We're gonna take 30 seconds. Let's see what we got. Number 1 is AI generated everything. Yeah. This is not AI. I hit that note. This is real.
Hey, we're so proud of you, babe.
All right. So I'm waiting on the votes to come in. Let the votes come. Let the votes come. All right, two. We got two has got 2 twos.
You got 2
so
twos.
The demon ChatGPT. Somebody says, "Sang Bishop."
You got 1-1.
Got 1, 2. Got 1, 2, 2, 2. I think two's going to win it.
Okay.
Two's going to win.
So far, 2 is killing it.
2
is
there
killing
it is. It's
it.
over.
It's over.
2 has won it. The Golden Chicken Award.
Yep. Yeah, squeeze his belly.
Look, there it is. What? When you hit that a while ago, it was like a background thing. Let's try it one more time. This is not AI. We won't. But we are certainly awake. Woo! Share this with somebody. God bless you.
Would you like to help us build the big picture family? We're on a mission to wake up the world to what is really going on. All you have to do is go to our website at LarryRagland.com and make a one-time gift, or you can become a monthly partner. Any amount is a blessing and an encouragement to us. While you're there, make sure you get a copy of our book, I See Greatness in You. Browse our merchandise store, connect with us on our social media links, and join our mailing list. We appreciate it. And remember, we ain't woke, but we are certainly awake.